plotted to divorce Kevin. And I sacrificed a lot of myself to come out successful on the other side.
Explains it the best way I can, which will probably make him wish that he never met me in his life. And the girl, she is now on blast.
Looks like the plot just keeps getting thicker with this group, as Sharina Hudson seems to have just uncovered a huge secret involving Wendy being behind Kevin's downfall. But that's even only where this story begins, as the side piece come baby mama has now revealed that Wendy had begun plotting her ex's fall from grace since the moment news broke about his infidelity. Juicy, isn't it? There's more.
Welcome to Hot Topics, Sharina Hudson. Getting out of my car with my money. Good morning, Journey. She'll be almost I think she'll be 3 next month, don't you know? Good morning, Kelvin.
According to the theory Sharina is currently promoting, she seems to believe that Wendy has been on a mission to destroy Kevin and strip him of everything he has worked for since the minute she found out he had stepped out on her. Ordinarily, most people would agree with me that it seems a little far-fetched on the first look, but as it turns out, Sharina might actually be onto something. Particularly because things have been going relatively horribly for Kevin since the beginning of the year. And for his part, he's blaming Wendy for everything that's befalling him, and he, along with his new beau, don't seem to be going down without a fight.
I mean, I had to, and I've known, all right, we were married for almost 22 years. We were together for 25 years. I don't regret the day of meeting him. I don't regret putting up with him for all 25 years. And that has nothing to do with him having this baby or him having this side girl for almost 15 years.
According to reports, Wendy's ex-husband initially told a New Jersey court that his monthly payments promised in their divorce suddenly stopped in February 2022. Kevin asked that the court order Wendy's guardian to make payments as contractually required under the MSA and severance agreement. Upon filing the court order, Kevin revealed that his livelihood depends on the payments, which were agreed to in their marital settlement agreement. I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to the Homeowners Association, and I'm behind on that bill. If the Homeowners Association fees are not paid, foreclosure will soon follow, Kevin said in his pleading to the court about the home he shares with his baby mama and their love child. My car insurance hasn't been paid as a result of not receiving monthly severance payments. I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money since the severance payments were suspended, Kevin continued in his filing. My life has been greatly affected since the plaintiff stopped making payments under our settlement agreement.
All's I'm saying, turnabout's a fair game. I'm a fair game player and a straight shooter too. Pow, pow.
On top of the plethora of pressing financial matters Kevin claimed he was facing, he also alleged he doesn't have health insurance. The father of 2 claimed that he needs hip surgery which he can't afford without insurance and as a result of non-treatment. He lives with daily pain. The fact that I am unable to sustain my life and pay my bills in order is extremely emergent to me. I cannot pay my bills and sustain my day-to-day living. Given that the previous agreement between the former couple stipulated that the TV host had to pay him, Kevin also included in his argument that he was never given any reason by Wendy's guardian as to why the payments had ceased in the first place.
In years of our marriage, I've known about her almost since the beginning. I've known that Kevin is a serial cheat. The first time I found out was while I was pregnant with our son on bed rest.
This, amongst several other things that have come up over the past couple of months, are some of the reasons Sharina has been maintaining her story that Wendy actually plotted for things to get to this point for them. And there are some other parts of this story that actually support that claim, but we'll pick that up in a bit. In Wendy's defense against the claims filed by Kevin and Sharina's demand for payment, the former TV host's attorney filed that the star has not had income from the Wendy Williams show since October of 2021. Just 1 month into her long absence. On October 15th of 2021, plaintiff was informed ... that her contract was being suspended and that no compensation shall accrue or be payable to plaintiff for the duration of plaintiff's disability and incapacity. Wendy's attorney wrote. The former talk show host's attorney went on to cite the divorce settlement agreement she and Kevin signed back in January 2020. Wendy's attorney continued that her client has not received a salary from production and she presently has no other television show being aired and paying her any income, let alone an equivalent salary.
Kevin became an ass, for lack of a better word. The more successful I got and he got, and we believed in each other, the more of a jerk he became. You know, he used his good credit to purchase property. that he chose to wine and dine his extramarital affairs.
Wendy's absence from her show began in September at the start of her fall 2021 season. Days later, Wendy was hospitalized for a psychiatric evaluation. At the time, Wendy was reportedly making $10 million a year or $55,000 an episode for the Wendy Williams show. Now, according to the story Sharina is pushing, this whole thing has been Wendy's plan right from the beginning. And considering that Wendy herself has admitted that she could be quite tricky in the past, it doesn't exactly seem too far-fetched that she had this all planned. But then, on the other hand, most people would argue that she was largely within her rights if she actually did plan this out. I mean, Sharina did take her husband, so what better way to punish them than to cut their money tap?
This girl wasn't the only one. She just happens to be the one who kept his baby. Yeah, I said kept his baby because from what Mr. Hunter told me on the night that she was, with this new baby Journey and her family and whatnot down south, he was with me, begging forgiveness.
Well, as it turns out, Wendy might have actually had nothing to do with Kevin's cash cow drying up. According to details previously reported by outlets, Wendy ran into some trouble with her bank, as Wells Fargo froze her accounts in January 2022 over concerns that Wendy was of unsound mind, and the bank suspected financial exploitation, dementia, or undue influence. Later last year, Wendy spent 2 months in a Malibu, California rehab treating severe alcoholism, sources alleged. The host, who had previously claimed she was sober, had a number of public incidents involving alcohol before she checked into rehab for severe alcoholism in August. Alcohol has been a real struggle for her over the past several years. She is battling severe alcohol abuse mixed with serious health issues. One insider close to the star claimed about her rehab stay. She was being treated for extreme alcohol abuse. She has had numerous doctors who have told her for years, if you drink, you'll die. She never really wanted to stop, and the people around her in New York allowed her to keep drinking. And besides the fact that she's basically locked out of her money, there's also health problems that she's been dealing with for a long time. Problems that have now transformed into bigger and even more serious issues for her finances. As mentioned by her lawyer, Wendy was absent for the entirety of her final season of the Wendy Williams show, but there's little publicity on why she was actually absent, as most people just wrote it off as her drinking problems. Turns out she was battling a myriad of health issues, including Graves' disease, lymphedema. Shortly after, her longtime production company, Deborah Mercury, announced that Wendy's show was officially canceled in the summer of 2022 and that her time slot would be going to her former guest host, Sherry Shepherd. Now, considering that she's locked out of her money and has also lost the job that Kevin is capitalizing on as his right, it makes sense that she wouldn't be able to keep up with the payments she had been making, and that's exactly what her lawyer also mentioned. And just like with them, the judge that presided over the case seems to also agree that Kevin probably won't be getting a dime. According to court documents exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun, the judge claimed Wendy's financial guardian will not have to resume cutting his alimony checks. The judge found that Kevin's request was not emergent and ordered his application to be dismissed without prejudice. The judge also denied Kevin's request for attorney fees to be paid by Wendy. Kevin's fight for Wendy's payments is not completely over. However, the judge said while they don't consider his demand for alimony payments an emergency, he can still take his case to mediation, so it looks like he might still have a shot. However, all of these haven't stopped Sharina from throwing jabs at Wendy, and she did exactly that in an Instagram story. "Happy and healthy is all I'm on right now," Sharina wrote in the post. She then added, "The clickbait is real. I guess they need the storyline to continue for a podcast." This shade is referring to Wendy's previous claim about launching a podcast. Currently, it is not clear if any episodes have been taped. So far, Sharina has not added any further explanation as to what storyline her comments were touching on, but we all know exactly what she meant. Well, it seems like most people might be taking Wendy's side on this one, and many of them haven't even been shy to talk about it. One user wrote, "What did Wendy Williams tell Kevin during their marriage that makes him think she should be taking care of him and his family? Sharina Hudson has another thing coming if she thinks I purchase anything from her. As soon as I saw her home wrecking name, it's over. That's -1 customer for Sharina. If this goes on, her business probably won't be able to stay afloat for very long. But who knows, maybe her and Kevin will cash a check after the mediation. Only time will tell." That's it for this video. Goodbye.